Hey guys, it's Tim Balls, and I'm going to be doing a little commentary and my thoughts and impressions on Dialed In. This is going to be all footage taken from a tournament game I played against Nick Zendejas in the Silverball Rumble. All the footage from that tournament can be found on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/timballs. Link in the description for that. This game, Dialed In, my first time ever playing it was at this tournament. Well, I did play one prototype at Papa previously, but this was my first time playing it with the current rules and everything. And I kept picking it in the tournament, not because the players I was playing were not good at the game. They actually, Zen and both Alberto, were very good at this game, but because I really liked playing it. You start off the bat with that. You have to hit that middle target in order to start a mode. I didn't actually know you could change the mode using the flippers, but this mode is actually pretty bad to start with. Meteor Storm. It's best played with a multi-ball because you have to shoot the stand-up targets around the playfield, and you can see they're flashing right now. They're giving good points. 6,000 points is good points in this game. Unlike the other Jersey Jack games, I feel like the points make a lot more sense in Dialed In, where 6,000, 10,000 is kind of like a million. It's like a good amount of points that you'd want to shoot for. I'd say, it kind of feels similar to a game like a Stern game where okay, a million points is going to be a good shot. So that's a really early ball one for me. I was kind of confused at that point. I didn't know if I should shoot stand-ups or I should go for some other stuff. Your early game in this game is pretty straightforward. You definitely want to hit the target in the middle. He's known as QED, to light your phone, and then you want to shoot your phone for your first mode. You actually have to go through your first mode in order to play your first multi-ball. So Zen hits the skill shot there, but not the super skill shot. The skill shot's a little tricky. You have to get it to go through the theater, and it can really bounce around, but when it feeds up to that upper flipper, you have an opportunity to hit just something, either a ramp or the hole, for the super skill shot, and that's pretty fun. Alien Invasion's a good mode. You shoot a roving arrow for 10,000. 10,000, I would say, that's your million of this game. That's like a good amount of points. 20,000, that's double that. So you want to hit these shots. These are good values. Currently, that shot's lit up the middle. The game has great callouts. It tells you, hey, shoot up the middle, shoot up the right ramp. He's actually got two shots lit now. I think the right orbit and the center. And the right orbit actually is a ramp, too. So you'll see players shooting that shot a lot. Bails out towards the scoop. And it's coming around the ramp. Good flow on this game. It makes a really great train noise when you shoot that left ramp. And it just has a good, feel to it. I felt like, the Hobbit and the Wizard of Oz, while the shots felt great with, the sound package and everything, they didn't feel great, on the flipper. And this game does have shots that feel great on the flipper. So you can see that's how much value there is in a mode. 74,000 is a score people were regularly getting as, an average score in qualifying. And he already has that just by finishing the one mode. What he could have done next is play another mode, which he had by shooting the phone, or he can lock a ball up the left orbit and then shoot the phone for multi-ball. Here, because I've played my first mode, you can see on the left orbit, the green and blue target for Bob is flashing. That means I can lock my ball there, or I can lock it on the upper ramp. Your first multi-ball is always a 2-ball multi-ball, and subsequent multi-balls will be 3-ball, but the difficulty will change for every multi-ball, which is kind of neat, and it avoids the trap that a lot of the Lawler games had, where you were timing out modes. I'm talking about the Stern Pat Lawler games, or just ignoring them in general just to plow through them to get to his epic wizard modes. This game avoids a lot of those issues that those Stern games had. One thing it did is made the modes very valuable, not these bomb modes particularly, and it made it valuable to play the mode in multi-ball. Now here, what I didn't realize is after this first lock, you can hit the flippers twice quickly at the same time in order to cancel the mode being lit. And I'm trying to light my mode here, but I can't. I can only start multi-ball by shooting the phone. So I keep hitting him thinking maybe I'll get a mode, maybe I'll do it right, but I don't have it lit. Multi-ball is lit, and I just have to shoot the phone to get into the multi-ball. There's a scoop below the phone. That's the shot I'm talking about. So a lot of wasting time hitting Bob. This was only confusing to me because it was one of my first 10 games I've ever played at Dialed In, but now I understand the rules a lot better. And I like the idea of being able to have the player control when he does or doesn't want to play his mode without it interrupting the flow of the game. You're still going to get a good reward. It's just which one do you want to have. So here we go into the multi-ball, and I actually skipped the animation thinking that that was when I needed to hit the buttons in order to skip the modes, the multi-ball start. But I was incorrect. So I just skipped the animation. Now here's our first multi-ball. This is the main multi-ball of the game. I think it's like Station 3 multi-ball or something it's called. And unlike other Pat Lawler multi-balls, every shot is lit for a jackpot, and then super jackpots are these attacks that come at your flippers. You can see currently that yellow attack's lit up now. That means you have to shoot QED to hit that super jackpot. You have add a ball available by making 3 scoop shots. Here the ball got stuck, and I'm realizing that now as I drain that the ball's not coming out, and I know it's up top. So I'm going to wait for the ball search to come around. My lack of familiarity with that game meant I wasn't trapping up sooner when I noticed that ball get stuck up top. But in the future, if I knew about that ball being stuck and not what the game would have done there, I would have trapped up sooner and probably not taken that super jackpot shot. Which is a tricky situation because the ball actually does zap your flippers, so I do wonder how that's going to be addressed in tournament play. If you guys don't know the rule in tournament play, according to the IFBA PAPA rule sheet, is that when you have a stuck ball in multi-ball, it's up to the player to trap up an alert attack in order to get them to free the stuck ball without you exploiting, multi-ball scoring during single ball play. However, in that situation, I think if I trapped the ball on the right flipper, my flipper would have been zapped, and I would have actually lost control of the ball, even though I had it under a full trap. So that's an interesting situation. I wonder how that would be handled. Here now, in the part of the game I'm in, my modes will be lit. And I need to shoot a right orbit to light my locks. That's like the train. There's a train 1 and train 2, and I don't know what the train has to do with. I think it's kind of like the monorail in the city. But that shot there lights the lock. And then I can shoot down the upper flipper like that with a nice combo there, and that gives me the lock. So your second multi-ball, you have to lock the balls up top. You don't get to hit them just on the left orbit. And each multi-ball in this game gets progressively more difficult. You have to start hitting multi-balls by making the shots fast enough, hitting the combo at the right time. There's a skill shot. The ball's going to pop around. And hitting it in there in that scoop or up the ramp gives you the super skill shot, which is related to the skill shot that you pick in the plunge lane. That's a pretty cool feature. I find right now that the one I see most value in is holding bonus X and the super skill shot being increased bonus X. Because it's very difficult to... you get huge bonuses in this game, but only if you do it right. So now I'm in the singularity mode. I don't know much about this one, but it is telling you to shoot the left orbit. The game's very helpful too. It says, shoot the left orbit. I'm ignoring that, I guess. Oh, I got the scoop for more time, so you can add more time to your modes. You do want to do that. You do wind up wanting to play these modes out for things called sim cards, which I'll get into later if I get into them. Also, the Big Bang feature can help you finish a mode too. So I think I'm aiming for that now that it's lit. And shoot the left orbit for some points. Ball's going to pop around. Miss the shot. Got drone area, kind of kicks it back around. I think there might be a magnet in there. Shooting around now. I'm avoiding center shots of this game. I felt like this particular one and other dialed-ins play where the shots on the flippers are earlier than you expect. There's the Big Bang there. So the Big Bang's awesome. It kind of works like a smart missile from a Data East game, or a smart bomb where whatever you need to get done will be done when you hit that Big Bang target. But also it gives you a base 50,000 points, and that increases by 10 every time. So it is a jackpot, and it finishes off your mode. So my next mode I start, I'll actually have the SIM card for the mode, which will give me more points. So that was a huge award there, and you want to use that at strategic times, like during a mode. Oh, I'm incorrect. I do not have a SIM card. During the mode or during multi-ball, so you don't just get the base Big Bang value, you also get these mode bonuses all completed, or you get the jackpots all collected, so you light your super jackpots and stuff. There's the bob kick back there. That's relit with the 3 bob targets, sort of similar to like the high speed rule or high speed 2 rule that you'd have with Steve Ritchie's targets on the left there. I need that lower bob target, which is a tricky one, so I may or may not go after it here. Shooting up the theater, that's good mode points there, 8,000. Big volcano eruption, lots of cool graphics. Shoot it around, try to shoot up the side ramp. I shot a little late on the side ramp, and that's the target you hit. I'd call it the cousin it target because it's a lot like that Addams Family cousin it target. And that progresses your big bang. So you see mine's lit now going into ball 3. So if I just needed 60,000 points on ball 3, I could just hit that target and I'd be in good shape. Of course, I'm player 1, so that's not going to happen. Another 50,000 bonus here. So yeah, scaling your score in terms of like the next 100,000 points, that's the best way to think about your score. You know, Zen is behind. He's got 97,000 to my 240,000. He's behind by 100,000 plus some, so he's got to have at least a good multi-ball or a good mode to catch up. That's what that means. I think that's a fair way to do it. The other modes, like drones or individual things, they'll add to your score, but they're not things you focus on. Your real focus is modes and then the multi-balls when they come along. Obviously, you can't kind of leave a multi-ball when you're already in one. So he's at Emp Strike. This mode has you alternate between shooting up the middle and shooting a shot. Adds more time there. There it is up the middle. Now that magnet kick out is very interesting on this game. This one was coming with no magnets on the playfield. This was coming right to the end of the right flipper. And that could be adjusted in operator settings, and I've seen some people talk about how they're adjusting that magnet. It could be throwing it straight down the middle, and that would make this game unplayable. So that's one thing I would advise people operating this game to work on, is making sure your magnet is set correctly. Here is a Crazy Bob mode. Crazy Bob mode was work on a rotation of 3 different things. The first one will be a mode, like the scratch off or selfie or emoji mode. So you get those early, followed by a bonus X advance, and then followed after that by a 2-ball multi-ball. These are pretty much utility multi-balls. They're not useful for points, but you can light your modes during them or play your modes during them or get your main multi-ball locks during them. Makes them useful that way. I would say the flaw of our game here, both me and Zen, is that we're not aiming for our mode shots often enough, and we're not taking the points that are available in this game. We're getting good stuff going, like shooting the shots and combos. There he goes with the big bang. So I think that awarded a mode completion plus a sim card. You got 110,000 plus 50,000 for that shot, so you can see how fast the score will go up with the use of that big bang. Now his attack's blue, so that means it's coming from the theater, and he nails it there. That's a super jackpot. He's got another attack from the back of the pop-uppers, and he nails it there. The super jackpot value increases the closer the attack is to your flipper. And we might get to see the ball actually hit his flipper here. So here comes the attack, and you can see the flipper kind of fluttering. You still have a little bit of control, so it doesn't totally kill you. It doesn't feel like it rips you off. It's definitely enough control that you can maybe flop the ball across, or kind of works as an automatic tap pass. And what else we have? Zen's just playing a multi-ball. He doesn't have a mode running. He's got points in the theater, points for his multi-ball jackpots, and that's done. So this is the base gameplay here. Oh, he also added monkey wrench multi-ball. That was a Bob multi-ball to it. So his kickback's still lit. Bob relates your kickback and progresses you through the Bob modes. Shoot some drones for a little bit of points there. Not nearly as many points as you get from a bonus X or some modes or multi-ball. But the ball's going to wind up bouncing around there all the time. So you can kind of see on the mini display that he only has like 6 apps left on his phone. Those represent the districts of the city or the modes you can play, which are equivalent. So each part of the city has a different disaster that happens to it. Kind of like SimCity style, and that's what you actually are hitting on your phone to start that disaster sequence. Now this thing with what he was trying to do there, he was trying to feed the upper right flipper, but it keeps diverting to the upper playfield, which is above those pop-uppers, and you're supposed to bounce the ball off the rubber and get it back into a hole or back into the theater. It's kind of an odd shot, and I'm not quite sure what determines if it's diverted or not. Zen came up to me after the end of this game and said he couldn't figure out why it kept going up there, and he just wanted to lock the ball for multi-ball. Maybe eventually when I play this game even more, and because I have one at the Sanctum now, I'll be able to learn more of the rules and why it does that at some points. I've disappeared off the camera, but I shot the middle for some reason. I have one lock I know, and I have one lock I need to get on that upper flipper shot. So I'm trying at it here. I was pretty close. It almost bounced out because of that ramp reject. And I'm feeding the theater, and there we go. So that's 2 balls locked. And at this point, if I want to play a mode before multi-ball, this is when I want to cancel with the flippers. Of course, once again, I don't know that. So my multi-ball is lit. That means somebody's calling you on your phone, and you have to answer that phone for them to start the multi-ball for you. Here we go, right into the phone, and my multi-ball will start without a mode running. Stacking's critical in this game. I let the animation play out for a little while there before canceling it. And I'm not doing it. I'd say that was my biggest flaw of this game. I think I wind up playing a much longer ball time, but it becomes a very close game because of my lack of stacking and bad work of modes in this game. Multi-ball is a lot of fun. It's really nice multi-ball to play on the fly, and you're forced. You have enough time, but you're like, you know this attack's incoming. It's very hard to miss, and you want to hit that for the super jackpot when it's available and when it's close to your flipper. The theater shot was very tricky on this game because of the way the flippers are calibrated. They feel different than other flippers. They feel like middle shots are harder. I felt that way on a lot of, at least on Hobbit, and this game. Like, the middle shots are weird, but this game being a narrow body, I think shoots a lot better than the other 2 Jersey Jack games. It feels like, the shots are closer together, that everything's going to work. You don't feel like you're struggling to get a ball up the ramp like I feel when I play a Hobbit on factory settings or something, and I don't know why that is. Maybe Lawler just designed it for the flippers he was using and made sure all the shots worked. So I think I got the add ball already to get the 3 balls in this multi-ball. There we go. Okay, now that's the add ball for the 4th ball. I don't have my kickback lit, so you may see me when I notice my kickback isn't lit and my ball saves off, take shots at the bob targets on the left. I started to do that very frequently at the advice of my friend Levy, who is very keen on getting his kickbacks relit, something I often ignore and then wind up, losing a ball down the out lane. Since outlane drains are significant there, and there's a nice big bang for 60,000 plus all jackpots, lighting that, there we go, for the super jackpot when he was really close. Lighting those super jackpots in the super jackpot sequence. My selfie mode starts. This is not huge points, but it's good in multi-ball because it's a switch hit based mode. It's kind of like a frenzy, but instead of Homer saying do every time, you get a selfie of yourself. I think this feature is cool, and they put it in this game early enough that it may actually be a good earner on location. I haven't really seen pinball machines been attacking the youth market and pop culture with games like Aerosmith or Metallica, but maybe this game will do it or maybe not. It's hard to see that mode happen and know why it happened unless you are an experienced pinball player, and a lot of people often say that pinball's difficulty is one of the things that holds it back in the arcade. So I'm still focusing on my bob targets there. I have a mode lit as well. My big bang light target, the custom hit target's red now, so that only means it's 1 hit away. And Whirlwind Mode starts. I really like this mode. This mode's just a 4-way combo. It's left ramp, right orbit, left orbit, and upper ramp. So I did it out of order there. And I hear it's a bonus 50,000 if you complete all the shots in a row. So now my kickback's lit. I'm happy. I take the Crazy Bob's bonus X. I know my next Crazy Bob award that I light will be a 2-ball multi-ball. Trying to get the ball over to the bottom right flipper now, but I use a kickback in the process, so it'll probably be back to the Bob grind for me. Nope, I aim for the ramp a little late. QED does distract me from hitting the shots sometimes. I'm trying to work on that to get better at hitting that left ramp when QED's blocking a part of the shot. I should really just not think about it. But when you hit him, he moves out of position, so in case you need to move him, he could do that. And there I shot it early, hit QED, and then take a drain off the left sling into the left out lane. So I didn't complete any of my modes there. You can see all the districts being yellow on the map. That means you haven't completed those modes. When they're red, that means you have completed them, but you've earned a SIM card for that. SIM cards are great for the late game because they increase the value of the modes very heavily, starting from 2x and then going up to 3x, 4x, 5x, etc. as you play more and more modes. So that shot was worth 14,000. With a 5x SIM card, that shot would have been worth, a quarter of my score almost. Not quite. Maybe an eighth of my score, or a tenth. It would have been a lot of points. I can't really see what I have. I think I wound up with about 780,000 points. And Zen's close behind. Zen with a really nice drop catch out of that scoop there. So Zen figured out how to handle that scoop. I was sort of shooting away earlier, but then when I saw Zen do the drop catch, I switched to that. That's what I'm saying about that theater feed, is it can come to the end of the right flipper. That's how this one was playing, and it can be adjusted in software. You can adjust how that magnet throws the ball out when it's trapped there. The way the theater functions is it goes through the theater if something light like a spinner or a spider is in there, but if it hits something heavy like a diamond or a crate, the ball actually kicks back. You can't see on the cameras what's in the theater, but players playing the game can see what's in it. So that diversion I understand. It's based on what the software is showing you in the little mini video on that playfield. So what's up for Zen? Zen's got a mode lit here. He keeps trying to shoot that theater because he really wants to light the lock. I think he got too focused on lighting the lock in this game. He had, I think, a SIM card ready, and if he took the mode, he would have been able to maybe mode out really quickly, get 200,000, 300,000 in the mode and beat me. Oh, he actually needs to collect his SIM card on the hole. So you need to collect it on the camera scoop. It actually has a Veritarget on it, so it introduces a lot of Pat Lawler things. But it's that blue circle lit underneath the lock light and above the Big Bang light. Oh, that's a big hurry up there. So he's getting points. He's in his mode, Whirlwind Mode, so he needs to shoot the left orbit. Oh, he's getting close to lighting Big Bang as well. That's ricochet there. It means it's one hit away. So he does shoot the orbit. That's a lot of points, 16,000. Puts him into the pop-uppers. He's really annoyed by this because he really wanted, I know, to shoot that lock target again. He also needs it for the mode. Seems like that ball is just doesn't have enough speed. I don't think it's being diverted up there. That one should go around. There it is. Oh, and he missed a little late. Oh, and that's right down the center. That was a rough drain for Zen. He had a lot of points available and the multi-ball start, or second lock for multi-ball available on that lock. Really would have been nice for him. Overall, I think Dialed In's easily Jersey Jack's best game. I think it's a fun game to play. I think it works well as a tournament game and a arcade game. I hope this earns well and Jersey Jack keeps making more cool games like this. I really like the tie-ins with the theme, just kind of being like don't have to hold yourself to a serious, action Marvel movie or a rock band. You can kind of get goofy with it, but also bring in things that are, relevant to pop culture, cool graphics and custom animation and original theme is always cool. So, thanks for tuning in, and check out some more videos on my channel and also my Twitch channel and upcoming tournaments. Thanks.